you the head coach of the varsity at East Chicago Senior High School. Everything basketball runs through you in East Chicago.
Exactly.
That's just my belief. But he has to go through too much red tape. We have 4 brand new elementary schools with gyms. We have that big state-of-the-art high school, brand new gym floor, courts upstairs. We have 2 junior, two junior high schools with gyms that's not even being used.
Yeah.
But everybody, what happens is everybody give up and say, look, I don't feel like going through what I have to go through to get a gym open.
Yeah, because it is hard to get to go
But
through that red tape.
if you really, we have people that say, we care about the kids, we care about the kids, we care about the kids. No, you don't care about the kids. Because you won't open up the gym, allow me to open up the gym to provide an outlet.
But election time, they all about the kids. They'll show their face.
But that's the problem, and we just throw our hands up and give up and say, I'm not gonna fight with them just to go through and get a gym opened up to have these kids to come to try to get better.
I'm 60.
But at the same time, you want them winning.
Look, I'm 62 years old. I gave up a while ago. I admit. But I used to have
But that's
night,
what we do with.
I used to have a night gym open. We come up there, we play basketball at night.
We were just talking about that. We had a janitor that would open up Kerry Guy
And he
in the
got in trouble. I
summertime.
remember that.
And we used to go
He got
in
in
there,
trouble.
and we used to have, that's right, we used to have Tony Harris, we was in 7th, 8th grade.
Yeah.
Tony Harris, Arthur Pollard, they were bringing these guys back from college. And we in the 7th, 8th grade, they was gonna have 1 or 2 of us on the team with them. But he was opening up that gym, we get in there and get some run in and be done. But now, the head coach can't even open the gym. Can't even open the gym. And he's the head coach. Like I said, everything basketball in East Chicago should run through him. Boys basketball, same thing with girls.
So it goes back again to, you know that there's red tape involved with school structure. There's a lot of things that can occur. Something, there's altercation, there's some, and that goes back on, should the school jeopardize their facilities for recreation? Because that's what it is.
Right.
It's recreation. The school has a responsibility for it to maintain its facilities, which is hard as heck to get to a certain level for their community. Okay, so therefore I'm going beyond that, because when you go to Crown Point, they ain't up in their high school.
Yeah, they got facilities.
They outside of the high school. They go to these other communities, they got field houses, where's the field house in Chicago? You know what I'm saying?
He went with the community center.
There you go, but
I approached him when he was building. I said, listen, build a field house.
yeah.
It's gonna bring money in. You kids place to play outside of the school. You can train, you can do all this stuff.
Yep.
He shot it down. He said, nah. I said, I'm big on the community. This is where it's at. We're gonna put one on this side of town, one on that side of town. But it's small.
Yeah.
You know,
So
there's
that's
too
what
many people in there, you got a firehouse.
But we all agreed though, throughout the state, right? Here, East Chicago, Hampton, right? They right there. The whole mission was to conquer and divide, and that's what happened, right? So now, nobody wanna fight no more. You still gotta fight. It can't be that I'm giving up. You still have to fight. Because that was the whole mission, to divide it, right? So we can't do the things we used to do, right? Like you said, once upon a time, these was the most feared areas. Always, you go way back to the 70s, this was the most feared area in the state.
They hate to see us coming up 65.
And believe it or not, this is still the most feared area. It's just we're unorganized.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? I remember that.
No
we
unity.
don't have, our best kids don't play with each other in the off season. Our best kids don't train with each other in the off season.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Once again, we're not organized, and you can't. The one thing I tell people now, and they argue with me, and I'm going on the political side, I'm jumping politics right now. But hang around a lot of people who talk politics, and I get to disguise myself and be on the other side. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the middle of everything. You know what I'm saying? So I just get to listen, and I listen. And what is the difference between the Democrats and the Republicans? Okay, one got a game plan, and one is all over the place, unorganized. Okay, so the game plan, remember this, when you face a coach, you got a game plan to beat beat you, 9 times out of 10, we just gonna say 90%, 80%, 70%, I still got a plus. I'm gonna beat you. See what I'm saying? Because I got a game plan. And if I can execute, if everybody in this room execute their position in that game plan, ooh, it look good. And we argue over here, the opponent is arguing amongst themselves.
Yep.
You know, we can't find ourselves. We ain't got no game plan, man. What's the game? So what do they teach you? Go to school board meetings. You know what I'm saying? None of us, how many of y'all been to a school board meeting, like on a regular basis? You know what I'm saying? How many of us go to, you know, to find out what the school system is even doing with your tax dollars? What are we doing? But we want to talk that. We talk to be on that athletic side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? On the educational side, we just complain about it. We don't go and put our voice, these powerful men that got a voice in their community, you've been paying taxes, but man, since you got a job, you know what I'm saying? But we don't ever go to where they organize and even get a contingent of people. If all of us walked in a school board meeting one time, the first thing they're gonna do is notice. They're gonna look, man, where did that come from? You know what I'm saying? And so then when we start telling them, now you can move people's thoughts and opinions into what you want. You see what I'm saying? Because they're gonna do what, we need a community center. Well, that's because the people that want a community center was at the damn school board meeting or at the council meeting pushing their agenda. So you wasn't there. So we sitting back, man, damn, why they build this? Man, shut up. You wasn't even there.
Yeah.
They gonna do what the people, they represent all the people. It's 3 people for a community center. And you know, and then we just complain. We in the barbershop. Damn, you know, why they build a community? And they ain't even put a gym in there.
Yeah.
You know, well, because we wasn't present. You have to have a game plan. We cannot continue to say we gonna compete. Man, I'm not trying to be in no school all the time. I gotta use what I got right now, but I'm like all for, we need a huge gym. Cause guess what? When's the last time there's been an AAU tournament? Why we gotta travel? Fort Wayne, Indianapolis, Milwaukee. We ain't had no AAU tournament. Why can't we get some organized where we have a huge AAU tournament? We using Bowman's gym, EC's gym, Westside's gym. We using all of them, and they getting rooms here, hotels. We making that, and we putting that. Listen, I'm gonna just say this real quick, man. This is how crazy this stuff is. So the Charlie Hughes game, I think you might have worked at Clinton. The Charlie Hughes game down in Indianapolis was a little small event. Now the Indiana Basketball Coaches Association has made it almost mandatory for girls and boys basketball teams to be there. They're charging a little over $300 some per school for its members. Okay, just you count that money.
Yeah.
Okay, it costs like $25, $30, or I'll give them $10 to get in there. Okay, it's also in conjunction with the top 100 camp. So they got all these people down there. So you bring in your team, every school in India, 1A, 2A, 3A, 4, you gotta play. Every boys, every girls team, you in there. So that's the Indiana Basketball Coaches Association. So they make all this money off all these schools. We can't organize, and basketball, I don't know if you've been to some AAU tournaments, but they $50 a wop to get in.
Yep.
On the
For the whole
weekend.
weekend. Yep.
All weekend, they $50 a wop. Man, our kids can't afford that. Our parents can't afford that.
I'm gonna turn the switch on and off with that.
Go ahead.
Fieldhouse,
Yes.
Maryville,
Uh-huh.
closed. I brought it to a good friend of mine, Gus. We was talking about it. We're only talking Lake County now before I go to the courts in Porter County.
Okay.
It's amazing all these athletes with financial wealth could have purchased that field house. That was the best thing in the world. I came out of Highland Community Center in the field house
Yeah.
before I started moving up the ranks. You see, you got the courts still open. Robbie Humble, Scott, family, a lot of them invest into the courts.
Okay.
See the difference? Lake County, allegedly Democratic County, Porter County, Republican County.
Okay.
Courts still open, field house closed.
Yeah.
And when the field house opened, the courts had basically almost shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody ran over there to the field house.
Yeah.
And as soon as that field house closed, man, they was having to turn this back up in there again.
Mhm.
Then Crown Point opened they field house, and it's like,
That was the plan though, that was the division.
shut down.
Division.
But the thing is it's like I say, divide and conquer. They don't want us all in one area. They want us to be going to their area, spending, they want money in their area. Even like with the city employees, East Chicago, Hammond, basically, you can live in Valpo and be a supervisor in East Chicago. You try to live in East Chicago and be a supervisor in Valpo, it ain't gonna work. So at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, on Columbus Drive, Indianapolis Boulevard, all you see is tail lights leaving. That's money leaving your community. You know, they don't stop at McDonald's, they don't stop at the grocery store, they don't stop, but that's what they want us to go, way out there. Why do you think the mall was way out there?
When is the last time we had an AAU tournament here?
But look,
To Eric's point and to Coach Boyd's point, where those venues are for AAU tournaments, typically they're not at a high school.
Mm-hmm. They're not.
Romeoville Community Center, I mean, they're at community centers.
Yeah.
They're not at high school.
That's why I feel, when the last time we had one?
We have not had a AAU tournament in, I think maybe,
Toy.
Juwan, the one at Bowman.
J-Rock, okay.
Juwan, the one at Bowman, but we haven't had those, and that goes back to, we don't have a dedicated space. Like, even Eric, he just said, you know, they closed the courts in Maryville. Again, why haven't we put the resources together to open up a facility that can benefit, cause this is what I do know, everybody that's up in here, we make an appearance up in this place.
Yeah.
You know, to make sure, and if we got it organized the right way, all of us would be involved with kids in some kind of
Yes.
way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying,
Yes.
in our spot, you know what I'm saying, you know, we might even have you set it up the way you want it, we might have a barber shop up in there, you know what I'm saying, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying, you set it up the way, but we need one that services, so we don't have to keep traveling
Way out.
miles
Yeah.
around. Look at the facility, they got the facility over there in Hammond. You talking about red tape, man, go ahead and try and use that facility out there in Hammond. They see you coming, they like block, you know what I'm saying, but they'll let people
Yeah.
come over there, you know what I'm saying? But that's not how it works.
Cause Toy and I talked about that too.
Yeah, that's, you know, Toy, cause, again, Toy Baylor. Toy Baylor is like an icon as far as running a U-turn, but there's no venues here. You know what I'm saying? So she's all the way in Chicago. You know, she's made connections and, you know, with people in Chicago that negotiate deals for her to run tournaments
Yeah.
for their community centers over there.
Mhm.
I mean,
she
you know,
is a money maker.
oh yeah,
Yep, come on.
And she recruits, she gets the top talent.
Yep.
Yeah,
You know,
she
she been doing it for
transitioned.
years.
And we seen them all.
Yeah.
And she a female,
yeah, and she's
and she be running.
you know, and
That's all we're
so
gonna get to.
those are the things, you know, like I said, we're still doing it the old way, where these other communities, they saw, like we talked about the red tape with EC. They saw the red tape, we're trying to deal with schools, and they said, you know what? We gon' just build us something over here. They got indoor soccer, indoor baseball, and Crown Point now, man, that's ridiculous. You can't even go, baseball, once again, we had athletes that could compete. Man, we can't even do that no more in baseball.
Yeah.
Soccer, we don't have soccer is irrelevant in here. You know, there's no place.
Yeah.
We haven't even taken the time to decide, man, we missing a whole group of a generation of kids who faster, stronger than everybody, and we ain't teaching them how to play soccer.
And there's a shift in the atmosphere that's happening real fast.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the Rail Cats, Gary,
Mhm.
one of the other baseball team around here.
Yeah,
East Chicago got one,
okay.
Whiting got one,
There you go.
Munster got one,
Mhm.
Crown Point got one, LaPorte got one.
Yeah.
Why go to Gary to watch baseball? We don't keep that money in our
Yeah,
community.
exactly.
So here's a question I have, and I'm a baseball person. And by the way, y'all also on my YouTube channel, so just give a heads up about that. But mostly like, how can we inspire? Because right now we got a lot of the kids who play most of these sports. All they do is sit at home
Mhm.
and play video games all
Yeah.
day. How is us, all of us are probably coaches and probably I'm part of this refereeing that. How can we inspire them to get back out there to do this?
It's organization.
Yeah.
Or an event.
Yeah,
It's
or put on an event. But
some kind
but
of
with
event.
that, we all sit here with like, all right, we're gonna put on this event, we're gonna talk about, we're gonna do this. But then it comes to the point, well, how are we gonna keep the money in our community? Because a lot of people out there, even in our community, our own self, rather go take their kids and play with the white boys because they have that money. And we sit there and say, yeah, we can like go ahead and play with them, but then we think we need to put the money here. But how?
Here's what you gotta do too. We gotta start making it more compatible and on our own backyard. So they won't leave. Before AAU, Munster wasn't even registering. And we played Munster, we like, hell, we can sit down after the first half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But when there's an AAU, they started learning. They started learning that they're not afraid of us anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, they found out Charles Ricks is just an average guy.
Yeah.
You know, we seen him, you know, dunking on out, and we were scared. But after we done played with him, like, oh, he's not a bad guy. There's no reason to be afraid.
Yeah.
Schools like Munster, Lake Central, they wouldn't come to East Chicago or Gary. Because of the fear, it's gonna be a hostile crowd, they gonna get beat, which they don't want on their record, and they gonna look bad, because we didn't fear them. Now, they one of the top schools to be feared.
Yeah.
Why? Because they learned our style of ball because we taught it to them. You know, like I said, you take that fear away from somebody, you better beat them on talent, and most of the time we ain't getting that.
It's not.
To your point, as it relates to getting them away from video games and getting them back out, I would rest assured
Hey, Coach.
that the Rexplex Center in Wisconsin, I mean, these are places that's a couple hours driving distance.
Yeah.
Different venues in Chicago, right off of,
130.
100, yep. These places are not just built for the benefit of your kid getting into school. There's a financial return.
Yes.
On these venues that's
Yeah.
being, constructed. We don't have that mindset before we can even get the kid to come to the venue. We gotta have people in places to understand that, yes, the side effect would be getting kids educated, getting kids into school, giving kids an opportunity to, portray their talent. But if you wanna be, just selfish as a politician, look at the millions of dollars that's gonna be put into your community.
Right.
It's no difference from these casinos being built.
Yeah.
These casinos ain't being built so you can go get rich and hit the jackpot. They being built to draw individuals to bring some green into that community.
Keep them rich.
And if we had that mindset, and the fall back or the fall out could be on the kids' educations and the opportunity to, portray their talents, that's a start.
Yeah.
We just got a disconnect, and it still stems all the way full circle back to what you said, Coach Boyd. Individuals that have a plan and individuals that don't have a plan.
Yeah.
And that's why our kids are leaving, because you have a lot of parents that are concerned about the well-being of their children all the way around. You know, they don't want their child to be a part of something that's unorganized, right? So that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna find the crown points. They organize already. You know, our problem, one of our problems is like you talk about everybody in the room. If everybody had a lane and stayed in their lane, everybody won't be in charge. Yeah, that's the problem. We can't have, okay, we got Coach Boyd has a vision. Hey man, let's buy into his vision. And everybody play their part. Now you're talking about organization. Everybody play their role. Now don't get in my way, let me do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Everybody
Well,
wants
I specialize here, so let me work here. So they not gonna have their kids being a part of something that's organized. And a lot of our parents, unorganized. And a lot of our parents see that, and they want their kids, anybody that care about their kids want better for their kids.
Yeah.
So they gonna take them out. So what do? They gotta get into these, we got to try to convince these parents, man, that's probably the hardest thing to do, is to if we're organized and the parents see us organized, it'll be easier for the parents to buy in to what we say, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
The parents buying in, it's easy when you are organized.
When you're organized.
When you can start, one of us in here can start a league, and if you started a league and you had 5 or 6 kids that were elite, it's a buzz. There's a buzz. You know what I'm saying? When they come in, they see how you operate, your system, how things operate, then now they're bringing more kids. Okay, they're bringing more and more kids. You know, it's just very important for us, like, to get something started on a higher level. Like, I'm just gonna say for Gary just building this YMCA. You know, we're building it as a part of, again, you're gonna have more red tape. You know, it's just gonna be red tape. You're not gonna be able to throw tournaments every week. You're not gonna need a space if our kids are gonna play. And again, these people, Crown Point, they've taken over high school football because they've invested in facilities. You guys know, I'm all over the place here.
No,
But you guys understand that, you understand that like I ask every coach, like I travel the country, I get a chance to travel the country and go to different events and coach at different events. And I see, like, I run a league now, but I do it out in Michigan City. It's at my middle school that I work at. Just do something, and even how we substitute, you never come out against. So, like, when your kid signs up, your kid is on a group of 5. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be 5 players. There's no halftime. They play constantly because the pace of the game is like this. That 24-second shot clock gonna go down to 20 seconds in just a second. You know what I'm saying? They're making the game faster and faster. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to make sure that you can handle physicality. So as a referee, you know, we swallow the whistles. So we're teaching mentality.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? We're teaching you how to get the shit beat out of you, hammered, and not say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because now the onus is on discipline. You know what I'm saying? Can you play at this high level? Because we're talking about an industry where people are signing $300, $400 million contracts. You see what I'm saying? Now, not only that, Indiana is about to be a part of it because they just sued in Ohio, and now you can do NILs in high school.
Yep.
So it's coming. You see what I'm saying? So now you're gonna have, and let's really be honest. I'm telling you now, like on a high level, and I'm saying this to everybody, like the high, man, is that you gotta have a gangster mentality.
Right.
You gotta be a straight up, like, I mean, for real. I'm just gonna leave it there. Gangster mentality, because all the people who involved with high level kids, they got people that's different. Let's put it that way. That's involved with
And
them.
you all over the place. I'm gonna go right back to you said the YMCA and Gary, and you said it's gonna be red tape. Is it only gonna be red tapes for tournament aspect of it because of the history of us at tournaments in these past couple of years?
Yeah.
The brawl in Toledo, Ohio, the little fight at the courts, the fights over here, at Romeoville, the joy of the game. That's the only red tape you think?
Nope.
Or just red tape in general?
It's red tape in general.
Okay.
You know, because again, the YWCA, what is their clientele? Start with their clientele.
Yes.
That's a community based, you know what I'm saying? So you got the elderly up in there. When we have an AAU tournament, you know, it's contentious up in there.
Yeah.
You know, the dude over here told me, y'all should have been playing. You know, you ever been to an AAU tournament? You know,
You and I know.
over here with this team going on, this mentality over here, you know, this mentality, you know, and then on top of that, it's a lot of kids that don't use the garbage cans.
Yeah.
You know, they throw their stuff right on the ground, you know what I'm saying? They, you know, in front of your facility, you know, they doing all kind of different things, you know, so you gotta take out, that's where the vision, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you guys get a chance, watch the movie World War Z, because, okay, so that you see when they had their board meeting, they had their meeting, and so in that board meeting is one person, no matter how good our idea is, one person gotta disagree with us. Yeah. And he gotta tell us why he like one person goes, man, I don't agree with y'all, you know what I'm saying? And then he's gonna tell you why, because man, when you forgot all these people gonna be in front of the building, all these, you know, you telling us why. So now, guess what? We covering every base. You know, but because if all of us agree, then we not gonna figure out the stuff that until later. So you gotta have people that disagree with what you believe in, so you can cover every base. Man, it's a lot, so I'm like, okay, man, that's just moving slow. How we can stop this whole as far as basketball in this community, until we get the people in place to develop talent. There is a lack of skill in Northwest Indiana, and the people in the state of Indiana understand and know that. They know that you don't have the skill. East Chicago just had a team that could have won a state championship, but the lack of discipline, the lack of understanding, the lack of high-level competition, that we can't prepare for Indianapolis playing these schools around here.
Correct.
So
We cannot.
Go ahead,
We cannot.
I agree, because you got to play those schools from down there, at least once in your season.
You can't go down there though.
Yeah.
What's the closest area that we gonna have to play in competition that is on the elite? Man, Indianapolis, listen guys, them guys in the gym every night till 12, 1 o'clock at night. They can go anywhere. In Hamilton Southeastern and Fishers. Man, you go to them. They got Myers in their own neighborhood. Like you walk out your front door, you can go to the grocery store. Like they understand. I told people this like 7 to 10 years ago. I said, man, if we don't start like humping, like Indianapolis see what winning a state championship do for your learning environment. They see what winning championships. Man, people don't care about. This is education has shifted. People don't care about your A schools, they care about your athletic programs. Right. What can you offer? We already behind the 8 ball, we don't offer soccer. Okay, so now you missing that kid that's a soccer player, you can forget, I can't go to your school, Coach Boyd. You don't have it, so we gotta go over here. You missing all them kids. Well, you missing the kid. You don't have in Northwest Indiana now, we're just talking about me kid. Girls basketball. It's getting irrelevant. We can't. I gotta send my kid over here to Portage because they got 20 girls. Y'all got 5.
Or I have them concentrate on volleyball.
Exactly. Even volleyball.
You don't have a basketball program.
And you don't have a volleyball program. So now look at that. How many sports were we missing kids?
Yeah.
So now you only got the kids that gotta go to your school.
Yeah.
And the new talk is reclassification.
There you go.
For what? Ain't shit around here. Reclassifying for what?
I used to think like you.
Come on. The point I'm making is this ain't Indianapolis, this ain't Chicago, New York, that you got to reclassify or whatever it may be. Now that's the new talk now. Out of 94 feet to East Chicago, to Gary. And I said to myself, damn, who started this trend?
No, this trend started like 7 years ago in Cali.
But look how hard it's hitting now in our backyard.
We always, if you watch the old Colors movie, man, they was wearing white tees 10, 15 years before we got on white tees.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It started way out there. If you know somebody that live out there, they can catch you. Hey, man, this was coming down the pipeline. And you better jump on it.
Okay.
Man, your son good as hell, but he ain't grew yet. So sit him down for a minute, homeschool him for a minute. So then he come in and remember, we want our kids. Yes, I started way before then. You right. We want your kid up here. They put your kids in school early, man.
Because honestly,
They put you
we was in school. First one I just didn't do it was Shane Powell.
Shane Powell.
Yeah, Shane Powell.
You speak, one of the baddest power forwards that came through this area, in my opinion.
Shane, you're a guard.
No, who's the big boy?
You like Luke Herrington.
No. Was that which one? And
Luke
Andrea?
Herrington.
No, that was Shane.
That's Andrea.
No, that was Luke too, but I'm saying.
Shane was a guard.
Shane was a guard. Now, he played big at Andrea.
Yeah.
But when he got to college, he went to his
Okay,
own
so
position.
only talking Andrea though.
Yeah.
He was strong.
Shane Powell, yeah.
Shane Powell. Okay, I was
Shane
right there.
Powell,
That's just me.
Luke
And I'm looking
Herrington.
at Gus, because me and Gus had this debate all the time.
Yeah.
That's your opinion.
But you're right, it's been before 17
Right.
years, but the bottom line is, that's a reality here, you know what I'm saying, holding kids, and that's, once again, your handlers, You know what I'm saying? There are people who know what's coming down the pipeline, and that everybody's kid not gonna be a pro. You know what I'm saying? But your kid can be close to the game. You know what I'm saying? But don't, like this training now, they training your kid that, man, make your kid the best you can, but be honest with the parents.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I dislike. Everybody wanna put a YouTube video because honestly, that's what our kids don't read books. You know
They
what I'm
respond to
saying?
the video.
I have
Yes.
to change my whole way of coaching because I give information to read. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving you, like I'm coming in, I'm giving you, and they looking at me like they respect me, so they go, like, I had to ask my assistant, because my younger, I said, nigga, you aggressive, you think you're doing this? I asked the same thing, so they understand, we doing diagram. But, so instead of like diagrammatic plays, I have them do it. Videotape the play, and then send it to them, or they'll watch that play 200 times, on their phone. But if you a coach that's like drawing plays on the board, you have to like literally show them how to do that, how to understand. Or else our kids are gonna be behind. You see what I'm saying? They're doing that elsewhere. Like, I'm gonna go back to the football thing. So everybody around here, why hasn't, football teams where we don't have resources? Okay, not one program, I'm talking about Michigan State report, we can go all the way to Texas. The only program that I know of that has a dedicated quarterback coach is who? Crown Point. And that's the most important position in football. You don't have you my quarterback, man, you go over here. You over here with somebody who you talking to on a regular basis. Y'all working on y'all 3-step, 7-step, all these drops are the and most important, another thing. It's a $6,000 investment. You ain't serious about football if you ain't got no jugs machine and throw the football 70 miles an hour to 100 miles an hour, making your wide receivers catch the ball 100 times, 1,000 times. Man, shut your ass. For real. Man, that's what I'm saying. I sit back and listen to these coaches talk, man. And I'm going out here spending. I got 3 shooting machines. That I bought myself. Man, the school ain't gonna buy that. Every time I tell them, hey, man, they make I'm like, hey, I need a shooting machine. Why? Because you can't rebound the ball no more, man. You can't stand in them with your girl or your coach. Man, that stuff is taxing. This machine don't get taxed. Yeah. So if I can teach my kid how to shoot the ball, they shoot 1,000 shots a day. And your kid shooting 100 that you rebounding, man, you tell me who's gonna be better. You tell me who's gonna be. They got the tools.
Yeah.
Stop telling your, I see coaches on the side, man, you can play better. You can play harder. I just laugh. No, it ain't that no more, man. That ain't it no more. You gotta give your kids the resources they need to compete. We got them in here. They here. They in DC. They in Hammond. They in Gary. Man, they can't catch up with them kids that's coming in the gym working efficient and smart, and we working hard as hell. We sweating. I done went through a whole like I got a ask baseball. How many batting cages we got in Gary? It's not one. It's not one batting cage.
Baseball, you literally have to go to a whole nother area. And I'm from Chicago. I play baseball throughout the whole time. But it's like even in Chicago, you have to go to a whole nother town, Hinsdale or any other place just to go to a batting cage. There's nowhere in the black community where you got the batting cage that you can actually need.
Yeah.
It's all in a whole nother area. Same thing in football. In Chicago, there's no good field to play on or good facility to play on unless you go to UIC or you go to University of Chicago or you can go even further. That's because they are spending that money to invest in a kid that wants to play. Us, we're like, yeah, we can do the old school way. Well, now we got the Gen Z coming around. They don't do nothing old school no more. They like these equipment that's helping them and preparing them for what's going to happen even when they get to the pro league, even in college or even in NFL.
Yeah.
Now we have to be like, all right, how can we help our kids today be more prepared than the other schools that's already 9 or 10 steps ahead of us?
Invest in the community.
You have to.
You got to get that equipment.
But that's what I'm saying. A lot of people in our community is like, man, why would I spend my money on this equipment when my kid is not even up to speed. That's the one thing.
That's
we
why
gotta
you
convince.
get behind.
Yeah, we tell them that, but then we don't give them the blueprint on why they get it right. Because a lot of people now in my clinic like, man, I need to see where my money's going. I'm not just gonna give you this money, and if you're not showing me your plan, then I'm not giving you this money for this equipment.
Take them to one of the games and let them see how them boys are whooping our butts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
I want to piggyback real quick. Pastor, I'm gonna go against the grain real quick. My grandmother invested in the community.
Yeah.
I've seen what happened. I'm 52 years old. You think I really want to go back and invest in the community?
Yeah.
Or invest in while I'm residing there?
There you go.
I'm just being honest. Because I ain't calling nobody out.
No, yeah.
Half of us grew up in the inner city, in this room, and we all live in the suburbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Black power, man. I'm still in the community.
Man, come on, man up. I'm just
But
calling,
you know
putting it out there.
You know, it's a mental thing that they make you think that you have to go out there to live better.
Yeah.
You can live better right in Chicago.
Agree.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Well,
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
it's
here-
a mental state.
And at one point before they started letting them go down, that community, by the hospital,
Oh.
the biggest houses in the world. They were beautiful.
I like it.
You go to Glen Park, and don't even talk about Miller. You know, that's the trend now, that they want all of us to move out because all white people are moving back in.
Yeah.
You look at who's in Miller right now, and look how their property value is going up, just because they want to go by the water.
Hey, Coach Ward, I got a little question for you.
Go ahead.
With you being an administrator and a coach, as far as athletics go, in this day and age, with the dwindling residents, let's just say in the city of Gary, would it be better off having one high school, such as a Crown Point, a Michigan City, a Valparaiso, a Maryville, you know, aside from Andrean, but benefit, good, bad, or indifferent, if we had one resource of a high school to pool the talent, if you will.
Yeah, 'cause
So-
we got one high school in Chicago.
And I
And
think that was the biggest
we'll have at
mistake.
least 30, 40 players, 30% of the players, yeah, somewhere else. So it ain't the one school to pull from, it's how you gotta keep all the kids to come to the school.
Yeah.
'Cause like I say, if during any year, you see 2 East Chicago players over here, 2 East Chicago players over there too. And you sitting there saying, why they way over there?
But it's not because of one high school, it's because of, like I told you, it's dysfunction and, you know,
Well,
you guys can't, you don't have the resources like, that they have. Like one high school, like you guys are starting, you actually have the finances to build a conglomerate around here. But y'all can make the needle move, you know? Like, if you had people who said, hey, I wanna build a state-of-the-art soccer complex, or a natatorium, you know, for, you know, swimming, if you can do that. If you wanna be a swimmer in your community, remember I talked about this, I can't go to East Chicago. Y'all missing that whole ball. If you wanna play high-level soccer, you don't hire the coaches. Think about the coaches' salaries for one. Your coaches are still they're paying coaches in Munster and Crown Point like 20 grand. You know what I'm saying? EC still paying, they giving you a $20,000 budget, put 5 people on your staff. You know what I'm saying? We not understand, we protecting the history. You know what I'm saying? Like in Gary, the whole thing, when I came back from IU Bloom, I told